Hello, hello, hi, gigpreneur. What is going on? Welcome. Happy Sunday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. My name is Sean Azimi, and I help folks create an extra source of income, make some money online using the social media space. If that's you, if you've been wanting to start a side gig for whatever reason, maybe you want to make some money, maybe you want to have some write offs, whatever it may be, you don't want to miss out on this whole gig economy, drop the word me in the comments and I will get back with you after this live. What is happening? Man, it is Christmas. We are live on all channels: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, Threads, all everywhere. So, what is going on with everybody? As you're joining me live, let me know you're uh, tuning in. Where from? I can't even talk. Where are you tuning in from? Would be nice to know. I'm from Southern California. Skywatcher, what's going on? How you doing? How you doing? So give you a little heads up because normally I don't talk this in depth, but this will be a talk about religions, and if that's not for you, then I probably wouldn't stick around. You know, but opinions and other stuff are welcome as long as they are polite. you know. So there's been a talk. There's been always, and there always will be talks about, hey, what is up with all these religions? Have you ever thought about that? Like, what is up with all these religions? And you go in the talks with some of the people who practice the different types of religions, and at the surface, you're like, you know what? They're all pretty much the same, aren't they? Like they're basically the same. If you're not really into yours, then you're like thinking, well, they're all the same. They just ask you to do this, that, the other, right? Well, a few people thought about that same thing back in the 1900s. In fact, they were professors at Oxford University. And they decided to get in a room, if you would, and have a meeting. Oh, by the way, before I continue, this I got from this morning's sermon from First Naples Church in Florida. I actually tune in to that sermon every Sunday. I love Pastor Allen, and he's great at some of the stuff he gives. So I just love him. So give a shout out to him. But so these guys at Oxford, they were professors, and they thought, well, you know what? We're going to get together in this room, and there's boards and chalkboards and whatnot, and we're going to come up with words or themes or ideas of from each religion, and we want to kind of compare to see where everything falls, right? So they start writing on the board. They start writing like things like kindness, morality, help the poor, worship your God, and all these the different things, and they come up with 150 different words and and themes, right? And they're looking at this chalkboard with all these words and themes, if you would, from all these religions, and they look, superficially the same. Well, they're kind of proud of that themselves at this point. They're like, you know what, we've done a pretty good job at this. All these words and themes, and they have the door to this office open, and this one guy is walking by, and one of the professors inside the room says, "Hey, Jack, hey, check this out. real quick. We came up with 150 words and themes that relate all religions together, and it's basically all the same thing. Now we know you're now a new Christian, and what do you think about this? So how do you think Christianity is so different than all this? Well, Jack or so. And in fact, his name was Clay Staples Lewis, otherwise as known as C.S. Lewis. Drop a one in the comments if you know who C.S. Lewis is. Um, I mean, mic drop, right? So he comes into the room and he looks at this board, and he sees, kindness, humanity, serve your God, be kind to the people, and just all this stuff. And what he does, he actually erases the whole board and writes one single word across. Oh, you will love CS. You will love him. So he erases the whole board and he writes one single word across the board, and that word was grace. Now you may think, well, what like what's grace? Well, let me share this thing with you. So you have grace, you have mercy, and you have judgment, right? So let's say, for example, I'll give you an example of what each one is. So let's say, for example, you are flying down the street and you run a stop sign. You just zoom through the stop sign, right? And sure enough, the cop, a few just feet away from the intersection, sees you and pulls you over. Let's say he pulls you over, and would you say you are deserving of a ticket? Right. So if you actually get a ticket, would you say that that's justice? Right. So justice would be you getting what deserve. Right. So that would be justice. Now, if you were begging and pleading and being super nice to the cop, and the cop was in a really good mood and all this stuff, and he says, you know what, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you a break. All right, I'm gonna give you a break. You just don't fly through. Don't go through the stop sign. Stop. All right, I'm gonna give you a break. And you say, oh my goodness, thank you so much for having mercy on me. So that would be when you get something that you don't deserve, right? I mean, you get mercy, but that you don't deserve that, right? Because we know you ran through the stop sign, you deserve a ticket, right? Now, let's say, for example, in this whole situation, if the cop says, Team Money, I'm so glad you joined on Facebook. What's up, brother? Let's say in this situation, the cop says, you know what? I know you ran through the stop sign. I'm not going to give you a ticket. I'm not going to give you a warning. Here's $500. And he hands over you $500, right? You would be, wait a minute. Wait, what would I get out of $500? I don't deserve that at all. That would be grace, right? When they go beyond what you don't even deserve. So you got justice, mercy, and you got grace, right? Well, by that word, when he wrote that on the board, what he meant was this: and I want you to pay real good attention here. Every religion out there, they say that man is separated from God and now he's working his way back to God, which means you've got to be aware and conscious of all the sins and the crap that you do, and every day you got to work for to be forgiven and to be closer to God, and you work your way closer to God. One mistake can put you really way back, right? So every religion out there has the man and God, they're separated, but man is behaving, is doing whatever he can to actually reestablish that relationship. Whereas in Christianity, that is not the case. That has been done for you and I already through the blood of Jesus. So I'm not separated from God through Jesus. In fact, we're one. I have been designed and created by His image. He put me together, and the way this all connects is that I'm not disconnected from God. In fact, I'm very connected with God. It's the only religion, if you call it, that you can say that God is within you. It lives within you. No religion says that. Why? Because you're separated. You're constantly trying to reestablish that relationship. It tells you in the connected to the vine. In the Bible, it tells you, it gives you a new heart. You get a new heart, right? Which means you're done with the disconnection. Now you're connected. It's a very big deal, right? So grace is when somebody goes way beyond and gives you so much more than you're like, whoa, I don't really like deserve this, right? It's like you go to the store, you pay $10 and you walk away with $1,000 worth of stuff. You're like, wait a minute, how did I? It's just like I don't, right? And that's what happens here. Why? Because we're not very good at staying clean. I'll talk about myself, right? We do a lot of things. Here's the way you can tell if it's a sin. All right. I was thinking about this for myself. I'll tell you this. The way you can tell is this. If, whoa, that is so cool. I got a hat, a mustache. Very nice. So the way you can tell is this. If let's say Jesus was like sitting right here next to you, would you say that? Would you do that? Would you wear that? Would you act that way? If you would, then do it. If you wouldn't, well, right? Would you do that? Like if there was a cop right at the intersection, would you run through the stop sign? No. But for some of us, the cop needs to be there for us not to run the stop sign. We can't just say, well, running through the stop sign is not a good thing. Whether the cop is there or not, I'm just not going to run through the stop sign. Right? So the whole philosophy with Christianity, when they say it's a relationship, it's because that relationship has been already restored through Jesus with God. You don't have to do anything anymore. I don't have to fight every day to build this relationship. All I got to do is get closer to the what? The bridge. That's all I got to do, right? So when you, Todd said, I know as soon as I mess up, you just feel like you totally can feel it inside, right? Oh, cool. Thank you for the gifts and stuff. Bro, thank you, Skywatcher. What's up? Thank you. I appreciate the gifts, right? So you can tell like you goofed up. You're like, oh my god, that was horrible. I should pray. I'm sorry, right? But in other religions, like I was a a Muslim for years. I used to go to the mosque. I used to pray 5 times a day. Some of you don't know that, some do, but so I can talk about that religion, right? And it was the thing. That's why we prayed 5 times a day, because it was one of the reasons was because we wanted to keep in touch. Hey, you're in prayer, you're connected with God, you're trying to get connected with God again, right? So it's a very, very, very important distinction. Again, grace is something we don't deserve, and it's beyond even that. So that's what they said when they said relationship, because in Christianity, it's the only religion, we'll call it a religion. It's the only religion that you can. It says in the Holy Book that I am in you, I live in you. There's no other book out there that says that. None. You have to fight to get into God's world. Not here. He's fighting for you and I. Crazy, right? So, dude, you got to come to TikTok. I don't know if you heard of Jackpot or not. Oh, you heard it from my phone, probably. Did you hear the Jackpot? I don't know if you heard it. You probably heard it through my phone. Say yes if you heard it. Um, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's a great message. And if you don't know who, yeah, you heard. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So go check out C.S. Lewis. The man is just, the stuff. I mean, he's just, if I compare C.S. Lewis to like the Jim Rohn of personal development and like network marketing and stuff like that. You do hear everything, T Money. The sprinkler. Oh, that's the best. And the water drop, right? Inside joke. But yeah. So C.S. Lewis, check him out for sure on YouTube, and you will appreciate him. So with that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. I'm gonna give you. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this tomorrow or Christmas Eve, but I'll probably do it tomorrow. Um, I'm gonna give you a story tomorrow that I've been holding on to because it's a Christmas related story. I've been holding on to the story and I cannot wait to tell you the story. I was blown away by this story. Um, and I'll give you a slight little hint that is how Christmas and Santa Claus and all this stuff came together, how they all came together. And I'm telling you, if you don't know the story, for sure your mind is going to get blown. Like you're going to be, what? No. If you don't know the story, but if you do know the story, your mind is already blown, and don't give it away. But I'll do that live tomorrow, and telling you, it blew my mind away. I was like, what? Is this for real? I had to like research it. I was like, what? So you're gonna like that a lot. Yeah, smoke detector. Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff. Violin. Oh my goodness, the violin. We'll never forget the violin. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, we're chatting on Facebook. Some of you are chatting on TikTok, and some of you are on Facebook. So with that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. I appreciate you guys. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. If you're not following me on other channels, you may want to, especially if you like my content, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, X, Threads. Everything is with Side Gig Sean. So I have heard, I'll repeat this again. I've been repeating this for a few nights. So we've heard TikTok is going to get banned on 18th of January in US. And then I heard that the CEO of TikTok is, or I'm sorry, an American company is going to buy them. And then I heard the CEO of TikTok saying, oh, no. Nobody's buying this. I'm taking this to the Supreme Court. And then I also heard Donald Trump, our president, talking about, he's got a little place in his heart for TikTok. So I have no idea what's going on. Like, I literally have no clue. So if you like my content, I just recommend you follow me on other platforms. I do more on other stuff anyway. TikTok for some reason loves like muting some of my own lives. TikTok mutes and copyrights. It's like, wait a minute, it's my own live, it's my voice, and I have to send a disclaimer and send it's like weird. So anyway, I would follow me on other channels too. With that, if you feel like this is worthy of sharing, do what you got to do. Spread the love. Tag a couple people as you go below. And I am Sean Azimi, and I help folks like myself, like yourself, make money, create a side gig for yourself using the online space, using the social media space. If that is you, drop the word me in the comments, and I'll get back with you right after this live. With that, I am signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.